Welcome to another edition of the Business and Personal Podcast, where we bring you closer to the people you do business with. And we're thrilled today to be joined by Dan Roberts. He's the Executive Director of CircEsteem, based out of the Chicago area. And a lot of cool things going on there. This is the exact type of business I love to promote here on the podcast. So first of all, Dan, thanks for joining us out of your busy day.
How you doing? Good morning.
So it's the Business and Personal Podcast. So just give people a little idea about Dan here and what your background is and what led you to where you're at.
Sure. I was a theater major in university. I went to school down in downtown Chicago at Roosevelt University and took a circus course sophomore year of university. And that it very quickly changed my focus on what I wanted to be doing with my future. Went through school, did all the circus I could do, and was introduced to CircEsteem actually when I was about 21 by the professor of that course. Was like, hey, you like this? Go work with CircEsteem, teach them a little bit, do your thing, and you'll learn something from the kids. And I did, and I worked for CircEsteem for 3 or 4 years in college and right after, and then was ready to kind of move on and do a thing. And I grew up in Indonesia, in Jakarta, Indonesia. I spent 6 years there as a child. And so I thought, well, why not go back to Indonesia and bring this social circus idea there? So I spent a decade in Indonesia, founding a social circus together with my best friend and my wife called the Red Nose Foundation. We started that organization, ran that organization for about 10 years. And then CircEsteem was looking for a new executive director. And my wife and I and our kids were looking to come back to the United States. So here we are now, almost 10 years later.
Wow, what an awesome story. And, I always tell my son, just go to college. You might have a plan of what you think you're going to do. Just go, because it's going to probably open up some doors for you. And what a perfect example that is right there.
Absolutely.
So cool. So just give people an idea of what they can expect in their experience with CircEsteem.
So CircEsteem is what we call a social circus. Got a lot of circus schools in Chicago, but just one social circus organization. And the difference is it's our main focus. So we're social first, circus second. Kids come here, they learn everything from, they come here for the community, they come here for the social emotional skills, they come here for the academic enrichment, and they learn circus while they're here. And so we serve about 500 kids a week all over the city. We have a location on the north side in Uptown, which is actually we purchased the building a couple of years ago. We just finished, just coming up on 1 year now, a massive renovation. It was the first movie theater on the north side of Chicago, built in 1914. We've restored it, renovated it. Now we have this gorgeous theater that the kids practice and perform in, as well as a bunch of other facilities like a library and an aerial studio and so on. But folks can expect to learn circus, of course, that's in the name. But they can also expect to be welcomed into a community, regardless of who they are, where they come from, what language they speak, what their body looks like, how much money they do or don't have. When you walk through the doors at CircEsteem, it's kind of an equalizer, and everybody gets to participate and everybody learns the same. And so I like to say circus is a great equalizer, because it doesn't matter what vehicle you show up to or whether you walked here. We all learn how to juggle the same way, and we all drop the same way. We all succeed the same way, fail the same way. And it's those experiences that bring folks together in a way, and for CircEsteem specifically, children together in a way that I find to be really impactful and really life-changing. And that's what you can expect when you come here.
Well, as a parent and any parent out there, we love that, because guess what? Kids can't be on an electronic device when they're performing circus activities. That's right. So we love anything that pulls them away from those things for at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
And just from your experience, Dan, and especially you navigating towards this when you were younger, what would you say is a template of someone that's a good fit for this program, both in personality type and like age ranges?
Um, I mean, anybody's a good fit and that's kind of our motto, right? Like that's our mode of operation. Um, a lot of our students start when they're young, anywhere between 6 and 8, but many start when they're in high school. Um, the kind of the type of kid we have a range, and I think the unique thing about circus, because you hear a lot about youth development programs, sports programs, or arts programs, or kind of all sorts of programs that are meant to help support the development of young people. What's unique about circus is we have a little piece of everything. We have the clowns for the comic relief, and the kind of the kids who are a little squirrely and just need to be goofy. We have the acrobatics and the aerials, which is a physical sport and takes actual athletic training. We have juggling for people who maybe don't have a lot of muscles but have a lot of coordination. And so there's something for everyone at the circus. That's kind of that's how we carry ourselves. That's what we expect folks to experience when they come here, is to be welcomed into the community and to be guided towards something that they can succeed with.
Yeah, and again, as a parent, I'm all about experiencing when kids are at that age, that formative age, experiencing as many things as possible. If it's not your thing, you move on to the next. So there's no harm
Yeah.
in trying. So on that note, what opportunities are coming up maybe this summer or soon that people could be aware of?
Yeah, I believe you said this is going to drop on Monday, the 12th.
Correct.
So Friday, the 16th, and the 17th, Saturday, we have shows. So kids who come to our Chicago Youth Circus program, those kids train with us. They practice with us anywhere between 2 and 14 hours a week, depending on their age and their interest. At the end of the year, which is coming up, they do 6 shows. One Friday night, 2 Saturday over the course of 2 weekends. So listeners or viewers can pop on by and check out the show called Breaking the Mold, and it's a story about change, completely youth devised, youth developed, youth produced, and youth performed here at our theater on the north side in Uptown. And then all summer, we do summer camp. We do 1 week summer camp courses. And some kids will come for 1 week, and some kids will come for 11 weeks. And that's the unique thing about circus, is while it's a new group of kids, oftentimes, wherever you leave off with your juggling skills, you can pick right back up next week. And maybe somebody else is going to start back from the beginning, but it's such a unique vehicle to work with folks that it doesn't matter how good or how beginner you are. And so that allows kids to stay during the summer as long as they want. It's also summer camp. So there's running around at the playground. There's throwing shaving cream pies at each other. There's I think they call it Wet Wednesday. Like we have a good time. It's my oldest is now a junior counselor, so he assists the adults, and my youngest is 10 and still would be here every day of the entire summer if I let her.
I bet. Well, I always like to say, Dan, that if you're not growing or expanding, that if you're standing pat, then you're falling behind. So I'm sure as the executive director, you're always looking for ways to make CircEsteem better. What are your goals to kind of continue to grow this thing?
When I came into CircEsteem a little less than 10 years ago, we had about 35 kids that we worked with in one location. Over the last nine and some change years, we've built up to 7 different locations with around 500 kids that we see every week. My goal is to continue to provide services where there is a need, and to be aware and awake and observing where that need may be. Social Circus is a really unique way to address systemic social issues that we face in our cities, whether it's academic enrichment or community violence or bullying prevention. We because of the malleability of the program, it is a really strong tool to support folks with, and so that's the plan, to keep doing that and letting the wind take us where it takes us.
Love that. Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here a little bit now, Dan. Give me a success story. You don't have to give, if you have privacy, exact details on it, but maybe something that you'll never forget, a child maybe that you saw go through the program and really thought thrive.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting. Folks often will ask me, like, what's your success story? And I think success success means different things for different people. And so I'll share a couple of brief examples. We have students who've come through the program new to the United States as refugees. The refugee counselors often will recommend them or refer them to the program. And those kids who were, when I was a college kid, those kids were 14 or 15, now have PhDs and are epidemiologists and doctors, and some of those kids have gone off to have tremendous academic success. A handful of our kids are professional acrobats. One in particular is, if you're ever watching a halftime basketball game and you see Cornell rolling around in the wheel, Cornell got his start here at CircEsteem. I will say, however, I think the most important success is the success we see every day, which is when a kid walks into the space and you see that light bulb go off in their head when they were trying to do something and they couldn't do it, and they kept trying and they did. And sometimes that's a 5-minute light bulb, and sometimes that's a 5-month light bulb. And it's those experiences that still, 20 years now I've been doing this, and it still gives me goosebumps just to say it out loud. Like, that's the success that we're looking for. So yeah, maybe you'll become a professional acrobat. Did CircEsteem do that? No, of course not. That human did that, right? Like, that's his hard work. That's not our hard work. We just provided opportunities that he decided to take. The doctors and the PhDs and all of those things. Did we do that? No, of course not. We just provided opportunities for them that they chose to take, and then they went off in the world and did great things. So those are successes. But those are their successes. I would say the biggest success that I carry with me and what drives me every day is that light bulb that goes off, because you see it, it's palpable. You can feel it in the room, and it's pretty fantastic.
That's when you know you're in the right spot, right, Dan? When 20 years later, you're still getting the same excitement from what you're doing.
Absolutely.
So if this podcast puts you in touch with even one person that leads to another success story, this is well worth our time.
Yes, sir.
Anybody
Absolutely.
that's still listening certainly has an interest in CircEsteem. So what's the best way for them to reach out and get started?
Check out our website, circesteem.org. You can give us a call at the office or stop by. I mean, we're here in Uptown. We're open 7 days a week. So pop in, talk to the receptionist, talk to the front desk staff about how you can get involved.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks again for joining us, Dan. Hopefully we can get you on again down the road for an update, but love to hear everything you're doing there.
Thank you.